Now, this is just a bit of a lead-in to another video, which is probably how you've come to this video. This is a multi-Mac by Silverlit, and apparently this was actually available as late as the 90s, but I can't find much at all about Silverlit as a company. And the thing that drew my attention to these little plastic models was that I thought they had something of a Zoids look to them. And that thought process was particularly triggered by the fact that they had these little cockpits with sort of gold pilots in them, which I had thought were very reminiscent of Zoid's pilots. And you can see it's kind of quite wedged in there. I can't really get him out. But I kind of wondered if they'd somehow recycled leftover parts from Zoid, or just the Zoid's pilots. So part of me wondered, was this actually a Zoid's knockoff in some way, shape or form? But the question of whether or not something is a knockoff is often not as obvious as you might think. And this chap here is obviously a genuine Zoid, and you can see that the little chap in his cockpit up here is not dissimilar. But they may simply have chosen to independently do golden androids as the pilots for their respective vehicles. And I wouldn't really like to say whether or not there's any linkage between these two, because I don't have enough evidence for it. But the question of knockoffs is an interesting one. And when is a knockoff not a knockoff is also an interesting question, because the answer to that question is not always as obvious as you might think. And so I'm going to do a video on knockoffs, or at least about knockoffs, to try and sort of, flesh these ideas out a little bit, and possibly using an example or two. So this is a lead-in to that video. But if you know anything more about multi-Mac, do please let me know in the comments, because there is quite a few designs and so on, and some quite sort of big packs of vehicles. So some sort of thought process was going into it. I just don't really know where or why they came from and how far they got in the world. So let me know. Cheers for now.